Hey guys, Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 3 recap is going to start right now. So last night's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta had some juice. So that means we're slowly progressing through this season. So let's just get right into it from start to finish. And I'm not gonna go scene by scene, obviously. So let's just pick out the key points of last night's episode. So first, I have to say that I feel extremely sorry for Phaedra because she's really dealing with excuse my language, but an ain't shit ass nigga. Like, I just wish that Apollo would have been 100 from jump. Like, you kept a lie going for 2 whole years about Kenya giving you fellatio and offering you sex and seeing her in LA, and then all of a sudden, now that you're about to go to jail, you want to, I don't know, confess. Like, is this your, I don't know, this is his confessions, and I just don't know. But so in last night's episode, Kandi tells Phaedra about what transpired at Cynthia's event and how Apollo came clean, and you can just see it all over Phaedra's face that she's just disappointed.
Next thing I know, Apollo and Kenya had a discussion outside, and he apologized.
For what?
For lying.
Lying about what?
About her. The whole story about her trying to get with him. She did not offer to give him head.
What? But did he at least see her in LA?
No,
That's
he
a lie
said
too?
he lied about the whole situation.
Almost like she just got hit with a ton of bricks and she just doesn't know what to do. Like, it's just so unfortunate that it's Phaedra because as all wives would do, you're gonna side with your husband, especially being that Kenya was showing all these signs that she was feeling Apollo. So if your husband is going to come to you with claims that this woman who is basically throwing herself at you has done X, Y, and Z, you're going to believe him. So, like, I get it. I get Phaedra's position. But, oh, she just, oh, you could just tell she's fed up. And what sucks even more so is that now she's like, I'm going to owe Kenya an apology. So this is where I don't agree at all, because Kenya insinuated a lot of things that if Apollo was in the wrong, you played into it, and Apollo's actions do reflect Phaedra in a sense because that is her husband, but she shouldn't be at fault for what he has conjured up. Like, I don't think Phaedra should give Kenya an apology because Kenya was slanging mud, and it was foul play on all parts. So, like, I would just chalk that up as a loss, let it go, and move on from it and realize the wrongs that are in the situation and just be done. Like, to apologize this late and after all that has happened is like beating a dead horse, my opinion. So here's a helping hand to Phaedra. May she work through her sorrows because you dealing with an ain't shit ass nigga. Sorry, sis. This episode, we were finally formally introduced to Claudia Jordan. You probably didn't catch it in the intro, but she is toting a peach this episode. And I'm just utterly disgusted. So I just think adding Claudia Jordan does nothing for the show. Even though on Watch What Happens Live, after the episode, Kandi was saying how Claudia Jordan can read, which I don't discredit. She probably reads very well. But we're straying away from titles now. She's not married. As far as, like, being an outstanding character of a woman, I have yet to see it. Not saying that it's not there, but, like, she doesn't have a business. She barely has a job. So, like, I just don't see what bringing her to the show does. the whole furniture scene in the episode last night of how she lost her tooth during sex, and you're just doing too much. And you walked through this whole furniture store and didn't buy a single item. And it's just weird. And then last night's episode, she was in Travis Smiley's house. Travis Smiley. And you're taking your clip-ins out in public, error number one. And then you have the nerve to throw your clip-ins on somebody's kitchen counter.
You taking your hair out?
I was.
Well, you know, in the job interview, you said that was all you.
Well, I had to lie. You know when you try to get girls?
I got you.
So now you know the truth. It's not all me.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Don't put that stuff on my counter.
Oh, you've had worse on your counter.
And when his wife was like, don't be putting this on my counter. You've had worse on your counter. Girl, what is you talking about in my house? Like, that would have been, okay, it's time for you to go. Like, you don't put hair on somebody's kitchen counter. People eat off of kitchen counters. Like, you do not put hair on kitchen counters. Like, girl. And hair is everywhere in my room. And not even in the bathroom. In my room, hair is everywhere. Because hair is my life, hunty. But you don't put hair on kitchen counters. Like, that's just what you don't do. So, Claudia Jordan, this, my opinion. Let's give a round of applause to Riley, Candy's daughter, because she was doing some major reading last night without even uttering single words. Like, and I just think it's so funny because she literally said everything that the world was thinking, or maybe it was just me that was thinking this. But Todd's daughter moved from New York to Atlanta. Mind you, Todd's daughter, I don't remember her name, is 18 years old. And so she's moving to Atlanta to figure out what she's going to do with life. And Candy and Todd are trying to like steer her into like what she wants to do. Like, do you want to work? Do you want to go to school? Do you want to, like, they're giving her plans, just plans, throwing plans at her. And, so when his daughter, I want to say her name is Kayla, I could be wrong, but when his daughter finally arrives and they're all having this like sit down, Riley, Candy, Todd, and I want to say her name is Kayla, they're like trying to figure out Kayla's life. And Candy and Todd are trying to be these mediators between these two girls, even though there's like at least maybe a 5 or 6 year age difference. And first read was her curfew.
What was your curfew?
I would come home around like 1, 2
a.m. I mean, I get it in New York because everyone's like hanging out. Like, there's really nothing that late that she should be at here.
And they were like, okay, so what time do you normally come home in New York? And she's like, oh, like maybe 1 or 2. And Riley immediately, well, there's nothing that she should, her word choice is everything. There's nothing that she should be doing out that late at 1 or 2 here. Girl, Riley, that's a read, because I'm in Atlanta and the strip clubs be popping to the wee hours of the morning. The clubs don't close till like 4. The Waffle House is the after spot. Like, there's just so much to do for an adult, even though she's only 18. So maybe not. Yeah, so maybe not. But girl, like Riley read. The ultimate read was when Todd's daughter was like, oh, I just can't wait till you get to my age so you can see how this feels, or something like that. And Riley was, she was about to say it, and then she was like, you know what, never mind. Then Candy was like, no, say it. Well, when I'm 18, I'm going to be in college.
I cannot wait till you get to my age because you're going to feel the same way I'm feeling.
Well, I would be, never mind.
No, go ahead, say it.
I would be in college.
We started at 12:30.
Yes, I was like, this whole time I've been saying, okay, why isn't she in school? Why isn't she in school? Why, like, if she just graduated high school, was college not an option? Like, it's definitely not a financial burden because you have Todd, who I'm assuming makes a good amount of money to at least pay for college, and then you've just been acquired into Candy's finances, who I'm sure will be willing to pay for you to go to college. So financial burden issue can't be a thing. So when Riley said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking this whole time. Like, is she not going to college? But I recently talked to this very old man who said, like, college isn't it for everybody, which I agree, but he was just saying, like, us as a society, this is a digression, but us as a society, we put so much emphasis on college when students aren't really prepared for college, nor are able to succeed in college. And then they go to college and then they don't have jobs. So I was trying to look at it from both sides, but Riley, you read, and that was a read that I just assumed, you know, you graduate high school, you go to college. That was my life. It's gonna be Riley's life, obviously, but it's just not in the cards for Todd's daughter. So to each his own, but thank you, Riley, for that, because that's what I was thinking. And it's just so funny because Candy and Todd totally disregarded the whole comment and went straight back to the curfew. Like, maybe that was Bravo editing, but there was no, it was like a silent pause, and then, okay, well, your curfew's this. Like, and even in Candy's interview, she didn't even address it. So I guess nobody else was thinking it but Riley. So go ahead, girl. The ultimate mudslinging tonight happened between Portia and Cynthia. And what's really weird about all of it is that both parties don't look like they're themselves. Earlier in the episode, Cynthia was preparing dinner for Peter, and she was moving like a crackhead. Like, not even a crackhead, but like somebody who's on speed or Adderall. Like, she was just doing a lot. She was saying a lot. And even Peter was like, honey, like, slow down. Like, she was doing the most.
Are we in a rush? Because you like amped on another level. Slow down. You gotta be true to yourself, baby.
I'm still the same girl.
I know that.
Just take.
He even made a comment to something like, you need to just remain true to yourself, which is basically him saying, like, you looking real unfamiliar right now. And then from Portia's angle, she just seemed all over the place too. Like, she was just trying to go on a reading marathon, and that's not her. And or it's not the Portia or Cynthia we have become accustomed to. So when Portia was sitting down with Nene, I was like, who is this girl? And she's just flicking the hair all around, and she's just throwing all types of shots, and I don't know. So when they finally two came and sat down, it just was petty all in the air. Like, okay, I understand Cynthia being upset if Portia was in fact an hour late. But Cynthia is better than me because I would have left after about 15 minutes. Never would I wait a whole hour for someone. In addition to that, it was probably a check, and, you know, Cynthia needs her coin, hunty. But whatever. And then so it just started off wrong to begin with. So there was just all this animosity on the fact that she was late. And then it was just like, it was like watching a high school argument of how there's one person who's always more angry than the other. And then there's the person who's like killing with kindness but full of shade. So it's like, oh honey, you know, you elevate your voice and you're like talking to them as if you're equals. Not even equals. Like, it's weird. It was just one of those conversations that was just extremely petty. They were going back and forth. Nothing got resolved, and it was just childish on both parts. And then it was just so elementary, and like, you end the argument with a compliment like, I like your pants, girl. You know,
You keep your name out my mouth, I'll keep my name out your mouth.
I don't care about your name being in my mouth.
All right, but then we are good.
We are.
Situation solved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Bye. Keep
Whatever,
starving.
girl, go.
know, like that is like so high school. So it's just so funny to see that happen. I think Portia is basically off the show. She's no longer toting a peach. So these little petty arguments in the long run mean nothing. There's really like, I have to say this because it's really how I feel. Cynthia, this should be your last season. And I'm going to tell you why. It should be your last season because on reality TV, I would rather see you go from bad to good than from good to evil. And I feel like that's Cynthia's trajectory right now. She's tired of being walked over. She's tired of being picked on. But now she's becoming an evil person. And this is evil on camera. So Cynthia, you're probably wonderful in real life. But that good to evil is just like, it's not how you want to leave your mark on the world. So like I would suggest, Cynthia, this be your last season. Just wash your hands of Real Housewives of Atlanta, because this is going to tarnish your public image, my opinion. Because I would rather see you remain the good, docile, not docile because that's a negative connotation, but like I would rather see you remain good spirited, kind-hearted Cynthia. And I don't want to see you turn bad. So I would say call it quits after this season. In my opinion, they can almost scrap the whole franchise, because I feel like this should be NeNe's last season as well. And Candy can't keep the show up by herself. Phaedra definitely can't keep the show up by herself. I'm not interested in seeing a show with Kenya or Claudia. So, I don't know. I think this franchise might be on its way out. That's just my opinion. But we'll keep watching and we'll keep seeing how this season transpires. We got tons of episodes left, and I've got tons of recaps to give you with my opinions. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like this video if you agree with any of the points that were made here. And I'll see you in my next one. For sure. Peace.